Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's McKinley Crain here, and today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free movie review of the movie that I just watched last Saturday. So I watched it the day after it came out, which was the 2021 Hulu original film, Boss Level. So Boss Level is a comedy action film that stars Frank Grillo as Roy Pulver. I think that's how you pronounce the guy's last name. Yeah, it's Roy Pulver. And Roy Pulver is stuck in a time loop where every time somebody kills him, he dies and he repeats the day. And he's like an ex-military dude, and he was involved with some really top secret government stuff, which is part of the reason why everyday people are trying to kill him. And it's a very fun watch. The acting is great. Frank Grillo is great as Roy Pulver. He gives a very fun, hilarious performance as Roy, and he's just a very fun character. He's a very likable character. And it's really fun to see him go through this time loop thing, because he feels like he's the kind of character who was made for this kind of situation. And speaking of the situation, the whole story is great. It's also great. This whole concept is unoriginal and original. It's an unoriginal, a time loop movie is an unoriginal concept, but it's done in an original kind of way in this movie. So it's unoriginal and original in both good ways. It's unoriginal in a good way and original in a good way. And it makes for a really fun watch. Part of the most fun parts of this movie are a lot of the action scenes. All the action scenes are great and fun, very fun. Some are more fun than others, but and some are more over the top than others, but they're all great and they're all fun, and they're all just entertaining as heck. And this movie isn't boring at all. It's not a boring movie at all. It's very entertaining. And the dialogue in this movie is great. It's very, very, very witty and very convincing, and just at times hilarious. Speaking of which, the comedy, aka the humor in this movie, is great, and it really makes the movie great in what it is. And it's very fun humor. I found the humor in this movie to be very funny, and very clever, very witty. And I love this movie. It was a very fun movie. It had great editing, great pacing, great acting. It had a great villain. Mel Gibson was great as this movie's villain. And I loved all the twists and turns in this movie. All of them, they all made sense. They all connected to the story. They all worked very well and benefited this movie. I love the chemistry between the characters in this movie. That was great. And I love the acting in this movie. In my opinion, the whole cast is great, but Frank Grillo gives the best performance of all as his character Ray Pulver. And the ending is great and deep and very confusing in a good way. And it's kind of a cliffhanger-ish ending, which works very well. And I love the way this movie handles the whole like concept of being stuck in a time loop. It handles it in like a very humorous situation and a very fun like situation, like a very fun situation. Like it makes humor out of like a lot of the things that like the situation of being in a time loop could bring this character and do bring this character, and it works. It works very well, and this movie also like just uses that situation like as an opportunity for like just a fun time, and it nails it. And the editing in this movie was great. I loved everything about this movie. This movie was not a masterpiece. This movie was not perfect. Nothing in this movie is like perfect, but everything in this movie is great. Anyway, I'm going to give this movie an 87% out of 100%, which is the equivalent of an A-. Like, subscribe, join the notification squad. I will return.